According to NASDAQ, credit has been linked to multiple problems in the college student community, such as anxiety, dropping out of school, filing for bankruptcy, and even suicide. Credit usage should be taken seriously, but people are often ignorant to the purpose of what credit usage is. While it seems easy, this quote here will let you know that it is not that simple. The Sally Mae study states that the average credit card balance for a college student is currently sitting around $1,200. So today I'll be going over why I believe that college students should only have one credit card that they use below 30% utilization. I believe that credit usage is not taught well enough among college students. It is not taught well, and that through being taught the pros and cons of credit usage, we can avoid the problems of credit cards and use them to our advantage instead. So what exactly is a credit card? Well, a credit card allows you to borrow money from a credit card company, and as long as you pay them back during the grace period, you won't have to owe interest. And interest is what you pay on top of what you had already borrowed if you don't pay it in the grace period. And the grace period lasts anywhere around 25 to 30 days. And then what you build up after interest is a credit card balance, which is basically what you owe to the credit card company. Next up, we are going over the FICO credit score, which is very important to know with credit cards because your FICO credit score tells your lenders your credit worthiness, and it ranges from a number from around 500 to 800, with 500 being the lower end and 800 being the higher end. And there are about 6 or 7 factors that play into your score, such as on-time payments, credit utilization or credit usage. There's total accounts, derogatory marks, average age of credit, and credit inquiries, or how many times you apply for a loan or a credit card. Debt is the number one problem facing college students today. With student debt already at an all-time high, why would we want to just add credit card debt to that? In 2001, for college seniors, the average combined debt was around $20,000, with $17,000 of that being student loans and $3,000 of that being credit cards. With debt loads that are that high, it can make it harder to obtain a mortgage or to get an apartment because your lender will view you as a risky borrower because of your history. And the next problem that we have is the misuse of credit cards, because believe it or not, college students are not good with credit cards. Whether or not you can believe that, well, there are constant distractions. First of all, there's drugs, alcohol, partying. With the convenience of a credit card, it's just so easy to hand it over to someone for anything really. And then on top of that, food, books, other college expenses. And college students are in fact targeted. We're a huge target market for credit card companies because we already are going into so much debt with student loans, and basically to them, a credit card debt is just adding a little bit, like a little cherry on top to what we already have. So college students are already targeted because of our position and our constant need to be spending money that we don't have. And a study done by Forbes states that 92% of college students use their credit cards for books and other expenses, and we all know how expensive books and other school expenses can be. So That's another problem. And so my solution to this, is that credit cards should be avoided unless the cardholder has a steady income and can afford to pay off the balance in full every month, not just the minimum payment. Because a credit.org study says that college students lack the necessary income, so they pay the minimum balance, which acquires up interest over time, which, as we all know, isn't good. So having one credit card can take away a lot of stress of having multiple statements. It's overall a less hassle than having 3 or 4 or 5 credit cards. And if you need more credit, if you need more money in your credit, just increase your credit line to, let's say, 200 to 300 or 2,000 to 3,000, for example. And only use your credit card wisely. If you can eat it, drink it, or wear it, use your debit card, because, I don't know, we eat, drink, and wear stuff all the time. Therefore, we'd be spending credit all the time. So it's just more wise to pull out your debit card when you are eat, sleeping, or buying. Eat, drinking, or buying. I'm sorry. And if you outright cannot afford a credit card, then just simply don't get one. Like, you're not really missing out on much. Only thing you're really missing out on is debt. So, what happens if you follow this solution? Well, the first benefit is that you will leave college with a better credit score. Keeping your credit utilization under 30% boosts your credit score over time, as long as you remain under that 30%, because lenders want to know you don't have to use all of the money that they're offering you. And keeping a good payment history over 4 years of college will look good to, let's say, you're trying to rent an apartment, and they're trying to see if you're a good lender, or the lenders are trying to see if you're a good borrower and if you're trustworthy, or, a good payment history will let them know that you are a good person to lend to. And also, another benefit is that you will leave college with less stress. Once a college student graduates, anxiety sets in at the thought of getting a new job, at the thought of finding a new place to live, and paying off your loans. Adding credit card debt to that, leaving college with credit card debt just adds to more stress, on which, like, we already have a lot to begin with. So, and then leaving college with less stress, because you'll be able to pay down your student loans faster if you don't have a credit card balance to worry about on top of that. So in conclusion, this is why I believe that the college student population should have one credit card that they use under 30% utilization. I went over how the two biggest problems with this is the amount of debt, and the misuse of the card can just lead to unneeded stress, unneeded debt, in the future. And the benefits of, only having one card and using it wisely is you'll leave college with a good credit score, and you'll leave college with less stress. So basically the plan here was to help us leave college with less debt, less stress, and a good credit score. So, I don't know. I think that we all wish to avoid things like anxiety, dropping out of college, filing for bankruptcy, and even suicide. But I believe if we are educated more on the pros and cons of the credit card, then we will be better off, and we will be able to use credit cards to our advantage instead.